All right, I think that's enough soothing and relaxing music for everyone. I'm glad to see all the positive feedback on my intro. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this Polychromos Faber-Castell product review. Please let me know if you can see me and hear me all right. As you can see, I have a brand new sexy mic that I'm testing. So if the audio needs to be a little bit higher or a little bit lower, let me know. And in the meantime, I'll be saying hello to everyone who's in the chat already. Lots of you are here. Thank you so much for coming. For those of you who are new here, I'm Lisa Mitrokin, and this is my lovely assistant, Shelby. And Foxtail is somewhere on the floor as well, snoring, so my mic might be able to pick that up. Sounds good. Yep. Okay. Looks good. Sounds and looks good on my end. Ego Brain, hello. Mark, hello. Jesse, Cassandra, I know it's like a really weird time for you in Australia. Thank you for joining us. Greta, Mark again, Jesse again, Heather, Paula, Lipathy, Jamie, welcome everyone. Heather, who else is with us? Ellen, the moderator thing worked. You have a blue tool now and your name appears in blue. For all of you in the live chat, the names that you see that appear in blue are my moderators. If you have any questions at all that I'm failing to answer or am not seeing right away, please count on the moderators to answer the questions. They know everything. They'll take care of you. Donna, Huxley, lots of people are here already. Okay, let's get started. Ava, let's see what I have for you today. Okay, the page that we're working with is my brand new design called Demon. Many of you already know it. It's up on Etsy. The links to everything are in the video description below. So if you're watching this on your computer or on your phone, on your iPad, just check out the video description. It has actual clickable links. So if you want to get this page on Etsy, the link is down in the video description. All of my patrons have this page as a free gift already. So if you're a patron, don't go crazy buying it. You already have it. Just go to Patreon or to one of the circles in Tom and grab it. For the rest of you, enjoy the show. This stuff that I'm about to teach you, to show you, to discuss with you can apply to absolutely anything. It doesn't even have to be this page. Jesse, Bridget, more people rolling in. Paula, hello, welcome. Oh, we have 25 people here already. Thank you guys. I have not done a live stream since before we moved to Vegas. And yes, my lovely assistant tech support is still with us. It's just that it's still the middle of his workday, so he is upstairs in his own little bat cave doing his own stream. But he will join us for the giant Black Widow show that we're doing next Saturday. I will talk more about it throughout the show, of course. So this part of the coloring I'm actually fast forwarding through because this is white charcoal. And white charcoal is not the star of the show. The star of the show is this box of pencils. One of my fans and patrons sent me this box after our private Patreon live stream where I talked about never having tried Faber-Castell pencils. So thank you so very much, my friend. This individual decided to remain anonymous. She's very shy, very timid, and she didn't want the spotlight. However, I did want to thank her so very much for sending me this amazing box of pencils. So I set a challenge to myself. At first, I was just going to do a coloring and talk to you guys about it in the community or make a little video about it. But then I thought I would share this with you live so that you can experience what I'm experiencing. So these are the pencils in the box that are now already all rearranged. And actually, this is the order in which I use them from left to right on this coloring. I'll be calling out every single pencil by name. And my challenge to myself was to use every single pencil in this box. This is the 24 pencil Polychromos color pencils from, of course, Faber-Castells. I hope that's the show that you came to see. Love Polys. Okay, we have a lot of people who already know this brand and work with this brand. For me, this was the first time. And that's exactly why I chose this page, because it has so many elements. And yes, I even used the green. Those of you who know me know that I absolutely hate green. Not that I actually hate the color green, but I really hate working with it. But I made an exception since every single color had to be tested. I did add the little green leaves on the flowers that are in her hair. Jasmine is here. Hello. Stacy is here. More people are rolling in. Welcome. I am mixed on polys, says Jesse. Well, hopefully after the show, some of your mixed feelings might be cleared up in either direction. I'm not going to preach one way or the other. I am not sponsored by Polychromos. Nobody paid me to do this video. I only show you guys the things that I actually genuinely like. So I will tell you about my experience with these pencils, my feelings, and how they compare to the other two brands that I love the most in the world, and those are Black Widows and Prismacolors. And so far, I can tell you, oh, Lipathy says Polychromos are the pencil of choice. Okay, so we have some fans here. Those of you who know the show know that I am a die-hard Black Widow fan. So I'm going to be comparing this to Black Widows quite a bit. And I'm also a pretty strong Prismacolor fan, although I don't have quite as strong of a relationship with them. And lately I've been doing a lot more of my work with Black Widows. But they have their pros and cons. Black Widows I love for all the amazing colors and the amazing names, and especially the skin tone sets. Did not believe in the skin tone sets to begin with, but as soon as I use them, I'm hooked for life. They are amazing. Prismacolors, on the other hand, I really like the way that they layer lighter tones on top of darker tones. Oh my god, first color, I almost spoke through this. Raw Umber. Okay, now that I have the lightest areas of my coloring actually primed with white charcoal, I'm using my very first color, Raw Umber. And I made a little chart. I know that I don't ever make charts, but for these product review videos that I'm starting to do, now that I lived in the civilized world where I can buy stuff and review it, I decided to start making these little charts of the colors that I'm actually using. So I'm going to snap a photo of this and post it in the community after the show so that you guys can see the order of the pencils. But I'm literally using every single pencil in the box. Jesse says, I don't think I have used them enough. They seem to be their own breed like Prismas. Somebody compared them, I forgot who I was talking to, but somebody said that Polychromos are like if Prismacolors and Black Widows had a baby. And actually, yes, it's a pretty accurate description. So you can see that I'm starting kind of timidly. This is literally my very first Polychromo pencil that I've ever used. So I'm starting very lightly with a very neutral kind of a brown color for the shading on the skin tone. And this geisha, I imagine she has a lot of that white powdery geisha makeup on, which is why I primed it white to begin with. So I'm not going to go crazy on the skin tone. I'm going to imagine that the makeup is kind of wearing off already. So there's a little bit of her natural skin tone coming through, because if her face was just pure white, it would be a pretty boring coloring and I wouldn't get to test out any of my pencils. More people who love polys. Okay, Bridget. And I see that most people are referring to them as Polychromos, not Faber-Castells. I'm new to this brand, so if you guys want to educate me on what's the correct way to refer to them, please feel free to do so. Apparently everyone just calls them polys, and I'm a total noob for saying Faber-Castells. They layer a lot. Yes, indeed they do. As you will see, I will use all 24 pencils here. Not all 24 on the same layer, but quite a few on the skin tone and quite a few on the flowers. And I also found that the layering is very smooth. More people saying positive things about these pencils. Somebody said that they didn't try it enough, and that's why they don't have an opinion one way or the other yet. And that's fair. That's fair. You have to get to know your pencils. I would recommend grab a few colorings and complete, several complete pictures with one brand before you start mixing and matching. And don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of mixing media and mixing brands, so I recommend it highly. So far so good. I am layering my Raw Umber is number 180, by the way, somebody's asking. Faber-Castell is the brand name. Polychromos is their name. Faber-Castell is their brand name. Okay. So if I say polys or Polychromos, it's obvious that I'm talking about Faber-Castell. Is that a pretty accurate assessment? All right. Sounds good. Oh, okay. Shirts and swag. Thank you for reminding me. The shirt that I'm wearing today, which you guys apparently can't see because my camera is quite high above my eye level, but the shirt that I'm wearing today is actually the design that we're coloring. This is Demon, and it's one of my brand new designs that is available in the Talm shop. The link to that is, of course, in the video description. Getting swag from Tom is fun, but it's also a great way to support my channel. And if you get a shirt from me, I'll thank you kindly, and you'll end up looking stylish and fabulous and unlike anyone else. So everyone wins. Swing by the shop, check it out. There are tons of new designs, and the designs come on everything. There are tank tops, t-shirts, hoodies, and everything, and like lots and lots of versions to choose from. There are like 6 types of hoodies, 20 types of t-shirts. Everything comes in different colors, and lots of other things like household items, dog swag, water bottles, everything. Just check it out. How much do they cost in the US? The polychromos, I have no idea. They were a gift. But if you go, guess where? To the video description, there's a link to my Amazon shop, and that is a list of all the things on Amazon that I review as an influencer. Apparently, my YouTube channel is big enough for me to be an influencer now. Yay! So I have my own Amazon shop now, and in there are the items that I've approved as a professional and reviewed. And if you follow that link, you can see all the other links on Amazon to Faber-Castells in different countries, and you can check out the prices there. That's the first thing I learned about them. What are you talking about? About the names, that the person was calling them polys and you couldn't figure it out. Money, 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 money. How much do they cost? No idea. Somebody figure it out and let us know. I'm sure that they go on sale at some point. As an artist and as a professional, I rarely look at prices anymore. When I need stuff, I just get it. This is my livelihood, so if I need supplies, I just get supplies. I honestly don't even compare prices anymore. Plus, you guys send me a lot of this stuff as well, so the stuff that I get as gifts, I obviously don't know how much they cost. But if anyone here is knowledgeable on the prices in terms of if it's more pricey than the equivalent in Black Widows and Prismacolors, let us know. This is a 24 pencil set. I'm sure they go on sale too every once in a while because everything does. So notice how nicely this layers over white charcoal. This was a big selling point for me. You guys know I'm hooked on white charcoal. In fact, I'm so hooked on white charcoal that here in the community we'll lovingly call it crack. And I promise to keep this a clean show because we have some kids with us today as well, snooping over their parents' shoulders. Hello, by the way. All the little ones who have done this coloring. Very, very cool, very advanced stuff. So for kids to be coloring it is quite impressive. White charcoal. Yes, I use it a lot. It's practically an addiction. So for me, for a colored pencil to layer nicely over white charcoal is a huge plus. If this first color didn't layer well over white charcoal, I wouldn't even continue with these pencils. That's the truth. Polychromos keep the point a lot longer than Prismacolors do, someone says. Very interesting. I did not notice that because I have a brand new sharpener that's an electronic sharpener, and that thing is a beast. I have not had it before, and I didn't really get used to it yet. I mean, I got used to it, but I haven't used it long enough to compare how the tips of the pencils hold up. Super hooked on my electric sharpener. It's amazing. I did notice that polychromos did not snap or break at all during this entire experience. It was very cool. 36 pencil set is $60. All prices Amazon US. The set of 36 is 60. Okay, mine is a set of 24. So I imagine it's like 50, something under 50. Someone else is joining us. Hello, hello. For all of you in the live chat, or not in the live chat, for all of you watching who are not chatting with us live, please remember to give this video the thumbs up. It helps me out a great deal. And if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Helena. Oh, now that the first layer is done, I am using my Q-tip again to make sure that it actually smudges nicely. I like to use a Q-tip as like almost like an airbrush effect with my pencils to see if I can smooth out the color just a little bit, especially on skin tones. I do this quite a bit. Of course, those of you who have been following me for a while know this quite well. My next color is walnut brown, and this is the darkest brown in the set. I'm going to continue with my skin tone shadows with this, and now starting to experiment with layers. I noticed on the pencils, you see that I made these little signs above in the video announcing the color. That wasn't planned. And the reason that I had to spell out every color is because you saw that I was twirling each pencil for like the longest time trying to figure out if you guys can actually see the name on camera. And while the pencils are beautiful and you can see the entire color of the pencil and it has amazing, beautiful script in gold, that gold is a little bit difficult to read. That was my only complaint about it. It wasn't so bad in real life. Obviously, I can just bring it closer to my eyes and see what color it is. Plus, I can see the color on the pencil. They're very nicely labeled. The shell of the pencil, the color really accurately represents the color of the lead. So I don't actually usually read the names of the pencils anyway. But when I was trying to show it to you guys on camera, there was just so much glare on the gold that I thought it was impossible to see the names. That's literally my one and only complaint about the pencil. And it's such a minor complaint, you know. Everyone's always in disagreement about the format in which the pencils come. Some people don't like that Black Widow is a solid black. I personally love it, especially when they have the little tips in color, the other side of the pencil. Like the Monarchs and the skin tone sets do, very cool. And the names are really easy to read on the Black Widows. They're usually white over black and without any kind of shine or reflection. But these I found just a little bit too difficult to read, which is why I made the giant signs for you, and then additionally made this chart. And this is actually when you see me make the little test scratch when I test the color to decide if that's the color I'm going to use. This is what ultimately came of it. I scrubbed through the video and I renamed all of them so that I can post this picture later for you in the community. Jesse says, I invested in the full set because I have, that makes no sense. FFS? Anyways, what's FFS? And I knew I would eventually get them all. I don't know what FFS means. Please let me know. I love those blues. Oh my God. Yeah, the blues in this set. Blues are going to be the last pencils that I use on this coloring. And they're going to be kind of forced. I didn't know where I'm going to work the blues in. But I end up putting the blues on her kimono. And the blues are absolutely gorgeous. I don't want to... full set syndrome FSS. That's adorable. Yes, I do as well. I have a full set of... Actually, I have 3 sets of Prismacolors. I have the tiny 10 or 12 pencil set. I have the larger 36 pencil set. And then I have the huge 150 pencil set. And the same patron fan that sent me this box as a gift also sent me a little package of... white Prismacolor pencils, which I go through like crazy. I pretty much eat them. So that was a really nice touch. Thank you again so much for that gift. A 12-pack of white Prismacolor pencils. I absolutely love it. And of course, Black Widows. I have every single Black Widow set, I think, times 4. So yes, quite a bit. I only have one of these so far, this little set of 24. But after this experiment, after this experience, I will definitely be getting more of these. FSS, everyone's laughing, full set syndrome. It's such a great term. I have backup Prismacolor sets. Nice, nice. Oh, Mark, it's great to hear that you're doing well. I know your back has been bothering you quite a bit. I think you're returning back to normal. I wish you could buy Black Widow open stock. You can. Reach out to Albert Jones. He'll hook you up. He is, in fact, a member of our community. If you belong to the Talm community, if you don't, guess where the link is in the video description. You can just send a private message to Albert Jones there, or you can send him a private message on Facebook if you join the Black Widow Pencils community. Not the Black Widow pencil colorist or the Black Widow coloring community, but the actual official brand community for Black Widows. He is the creator of the group, and he is the main admin, so he responds personally. He will hook you up. I never knew that. Most people don't. I don't think he advertises it very well, but every time it's come up on the stream, he's always the first to be like, no, we totally do. Just let me know. And in fact, speaking of Black Widows, for those of you who are just joining us who may not know the news, we're doing a huge Black Widow stream next Saturday. Not this coming Saturday, but the one after on the 24th, where I'll be coloring a picture of Black Widow, the Marvel character, while reviewing all of the Black Widow sets. Albert Jones, the creator of Black Widow pencils, will be live on the show with us on a video call. You guys will actually get to see him and talk to him. You can ask him anything you want. We will also be running giveaways. Albert was kind enough to suggest that we run 4 giveaways with 4 winners, each of which will get to choose any one of his pencil sets, which he will send to them personally. Very cool, right? So that's happening next Saturday. It's, of course, up on my main YouTube page. You can't miss it. It's the upcoming stream. It's in my community. It's on my Facebook page. It's all over the place. And if you sign up for the event, you'll get a reminder, just like you did today. Oh my God, we have 30 people with us. Thank you so much, you guys. If you're watching this, please spread the news on Facebook. You have no idea how many people reach out to me crying that they missed the show, and it's heartbreaking. I advertise as much as I can without being pushy or spammy, and still hundreds of people miss the show live, and then they're very sad. So those of you watching right now, if you belong to coloring groups on Facebook, post a link to the show right now. Let's get more people in here so that more of us can enjoy this review. Mama Wears War Paint. What a cool name. I think I've told you this before. That's an awesome name. Is Black Widow going to come out with a new set? Great question. We can ask that from Albert Jones live on the show next week. I have no clue, but it's an excellent question. I would also love to know. The Monarch set was the last one that came out. That was almost a year ago, wasn't it? Yeah, he might be up for a new set. Awesome, I have them on the list. Lisa, what sharpener are you using? Let me find out. 1 second. It is called Westcott. And it looks like this. It came in a set with a tiny little hand sharpener as well that's not electric. And then this guy plugs in into the wall. So Westcott I Paint Aura is the other label on it. It's really cool. My mom-in-law gave it to me. Mama Tech, in fact, gave this to me as a gift, and I'm hooked on it. It saves me so much time. I used to have this hideous little box, that like paper origami box that I would just sharpen my pencils in, and it would take like a minute to sharpen a pencil, and then you switch it out, you put the box away. I had no idea how much time I was killing not using an electric sharpener. Now I'm just like color, 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 zzz, color, color, color. Zzz. It's like I skip the sharpening part altogether. It's amazing. Highly recommend an electric sharpener. All right, where are we? Blending with the Q-tip again. So far, I'm very happy with the quality of the pencils and the blending. It's very nice. It's not scratchy at all. I don't have to use the Q-tip a lot or with a lot of pressure. I'm just really gently gliding on the surface of the page. You should add that to your Amazon storefront. I should. The electric sharpener, I will. Absolutely. I only add the items that I'm absolutely perfectly passionate about. No, I was going to say a bad word, but there are kids present. Ultramarina. I was confused by this color because I didn't know that ultramarina was a word. ultramarine blue is a word that I'm familiar with. So I don't know if that's a typo on a pencil, if they make typos, or if the color is actually called ultramarina. But on my pencil, it's spelled out ultramarina 120. And I was even further confused later on when I use a color called light ultramarine. So not light ultramarina, but light ultramarine. Let me know if anyone else has noticed this discrepancy, and let me check again if I am correct about that. Yeah, see, the names are just kind of difficult to read. Yeah, ultramarina. It's really weird. I think it's a typo. I am pretty sure that the color is called ultramarine. I'll ask him about Black Widow markers. He said not yet. Oh, okay. Not yet does not mean no. I like that. I like that answer, not yet. Black Widow markers would be cool. Yeah. I think it's a typo. They say ultramarine. Oh, okay. Well, I got a very rare set with a typo. I kind of like those little imperfections. I have a collectible set. uh, oh my God. Crystal says my 3-year-old just woke up from his nap and is sitting and coloring along with us as well. Oh my God. My girls' names are Avery and Wyatt. Avery and Wyatt, hello. Welcome to the show. It's great to have you guys. Happy coloring. So, Avery and Wyatt, are you guys using polys today or different kinds of colored pencils? Let me know in the chat. How about hello blue or halo blue? Hello blue? Hello blue name? I need to do this daily. Awesome. Everyone's saying hello to Avery and Wyatt. Welcome to the show, Avery and Wyatt. Magenta. Magenta, I was very impressed with. As you can see, I'm starting to get bolder and braver with my colors. So magenta for the makeup. Of course, she's wearing geisha makeup, so she's gonna have a lot of red around her eyes, and of course on her lips. So I went with magenta to start with. We'll add some more red to it afterwards. Let's see. Avery and Wyatt are coloring with the Faber-Castell's Eco Pencils. Very cool. I'd love to see the pictures of what they've done. Please take some photos, post them in the community. Again, if you guys don't belong to the community, join us. It's free. It's easy. No strings attached. There's a link in the video description below. It's a private community. It's like Facebook, but without Facebook. Very cool. You do have to be approved to join, but I approve pretty much everyone. Pretty much. Yay, happy coloring. Magenta rocks. Yes, magenta is a gorgeous color. Absolutely brilliant. And you see how fast that was. I just added a little bit over the eye. That took seconds. Now I'm going to enhance it with deep scarlet red. Oh, it's on the screen too. I'm still reading my little cheat sheet. Deep scarlet red. Very strong color. Amazing. Like once we start getting into reds and blues, this brand really starts to shine. Like the browns, they're pretty common. I wasn't blown away by the browns. I wasn't disappointed in them, but there was nothing unusual. It just felt like coloring with Prismacolors. As soon as I got to this point, to the reds, and how nicely they layer over each other, like now I'm layering the this classic red, deep scarlet red, over the magenta, and this is where I'm starting to actually get a feel for how the blending works, and it's phenomenal. It's so soft, and it has that same feel that I like about Black Widows for blending, but it's even softer. Black Widows are wax pencils, but they're very hard wax pencils, so they're kind of hit or miss for some people. Not for me. Like I said, diehard Black Widow fan. But I can see why some people may find them difficult to use. This is super easy to use. If you're just getting into coloring, or if you have kids who color, then I think this is a great brand with no surprises, with no negative surprises to start with, because it's just so bright in terms of the color intensity. And so easy to apply to the page. You don't need to grind the pigment in or anything. Now, the black and the white in the set, I'm not going to talk about the white yet, but the black I'm actually using right now on the screen, the black I wasn't thrilled with. Again, not disappointed in, but not thrilled with. And that's because I'm super spoiled by the Prismacolor black. Prismacolor black is so intense, it's practically black charcoal in its intensity. Of course, it's not charcoal, but you know what I mean. Those of you who have worked with black charcoal, it's nothing compares to it. It's so dark. It's like the purest form of black. And the Prismacolor black is the closest thing to it. So whenever I do black and white portraits, monochromatic portraits, with Prismacolor grays or sepia colors, I use the Prismacolor black for the really dark black parts, like the pupils of the eyes or the black of the background. And I'm 100% satisfied with it. This black felt a little bit weak to me. It was satisfactory, but compared to Prismacolor, it wasn't as intense. So on this assignment that I've made for myself, I set out to use every single pencil in the box and only the pencils from this box. No mixing, because it's an experiment and it's a demonstration. You know, this isn't the polychromos and black widows and prismacolors and whatever else I have in my box review. It's a polychromos review, so I had to stick to the plan. And it's fine, it's good enough. But on a different coloring, I would not use the black for the geisha hair. I would actually bring in either one of the blacks from the Black Widow sets or the Prismacolor black, which is my absolute favorite for black. So that's the only thing. Because I'm heavy-handed, it works best for me. Oh, the black? Really? Okay, that's interesting. That's a really good point. I work very lightly. Again, those of you who are familiar with me and how I teach and how I work, I preach trying to work as lightly as you can and rather applying more layers than more, pressure. Don't grind the pigment in the page. Don't flatten that tooth. Just layer, layer, layer. But a lot of the colorists in the community are indeed heavy-handed. Love from the UK, Lisa. Thank you so much, Mandy. Welcome to the show. Hello. But for those of you who are heavy-handed, that was an absolutely excellent feedback. If you are heavy-handed, this pencil will work beautifully without going over the top. I imagine that a really heavy pigment Prismacolor black would be devastating in the hands of a heavy-handed colorist. So you guys can see how it's all very personal. So as much as I can give you a review on stuff, it's still my review, and we still have to filter it through how I work and how I apply pigment, my hand, my muscle control, my history. You are different. You are your own person. So listen to my story, but always filter it through my experience. Because if I'm telling you that this color isn't, the color intensity isn't strong enough for my satisfaction, it doesn't mean that it will be the same for you, because you're a completely different person living in a completely different world. Now, this came out fine. Like, again, no complaints, but there wasn't this, wow, I love this pencil when I used this black. On the magenta and the deep scarlet red, yes, there was a wow. There was an absolute wow. And when the blues come, there was a lot of wow. But not on the black. On the black, it was more like, meh, not bad, but nothing to write home about. I'm light-handed too, and I use Prisma, Black Widow, and white with polychromos. Yeah, I have a feeling that's how I'm gonna go for my future colorings that I'm doing, completely free of any obligation to stay true to one box of pencils. I love to mix and match brands, so I am making notes. I'm making mental notes for myself, what I like about the brand, and what I like about other brands, and it's true for everything. No one brand of anything is 100% excellent for every single user. It's good to have options. I have lots of brands, and some of them have my favorites, and I would like to use, when I have the freedom to use whatever I want, I prefer to take out, my favorites from every single set and use the best possible pencils for that effect. I like poly for fine detail. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying that they really hold the tip well. And that's quite extraordinary. The electric sharpener that I'm using now, it creates a very long, very fine tip that you would think would be very easy to break, but I haven't had any crumbling issues with this at all. The tips stayed very long, very sharp. I hardly had to resharpen them during this coloring at all. And that says a lot about the brand, because usually when that's the case, when the tip stays that sharp and that long for many, many strokes on the page, that usually implies that the pencil is really hard. And hard usually implies scratchy. Not here. The pencils feel really soft. They glide softly on the page, they blend softly, yet they're really strong. So the chemical formula is quite impressive here, that to find that nice, perfect middle ground between soft and durable. That's really hard to find. Prismacolors, I feel like they get shorter faster. My patrons know the last private stream that I ran, where I did a blue background on the Khaleesi coloring. I ran through, it was a brand new blue pencil, and I ran about 2/3 down, coloring just a little bit of the circle background. That I was a little bit surprised by that, that I ate that far into the pencil. So I generally feel like I go through my Prismacolors faster than any other brand. Black Widows seem to last for a while, and these guys are also really good. Let me show you again the actual condition of the pencils. So this was a brand new set, and I completed this coloring. Well, actually, I'm a liar. I didn't entirely complete it, but I've used every single pencil in the set to get this far into the coloring, which is a lot. It was 2 hours, 2 straight hours of coloring, and this is how short my pencils got. I barely put a dent in them, so I have a feeling that they will last for a very long time. Lisa, are you doing more skin tone videos? Yes, as a matter of fact, I will be doing more skin tone videos. I was talking to one of the community members a couple of days ago, and she asked to teach Japanese skin tones, which was just 2 days ago. I invited her to the stream and told her that, in fact, we'll be doing a Japanese skin tone on this geisha. And I was also asked to do more olive and amber skin tones, because in my skin tone coloring course, I do 3 types of skin tones. I do very pale, like an olive middle brown kind of skin tone, and really dark black skin tone, and nothing really in between, because covering every single skin tone is absolutely impossible. And I like to keep my my Udemy courses no longer than 35 lectures, because after 35 lectures it gets a little bit overwhelming for the students. So I like to keep them short and sweet, which is also the length that Udemy recommends. Of course, if you're interested in taking a full skin tone course from me, the link to that is in the video description below, as is everything that you need to know. Yes, she's doing olive skin tones. What about undead skin? Okay. I was going to surprise you guys, but I'll surprise you now. I did not just run off from my own show. I'm right here. Okay, are you ready to be surprised? I started my next Udemy course, and it's on undead skin tones. I am hoping to have it released by the beginning of October, so that you guys have plenty of time to play with it before Halloween. Okay, moment of truth on this coloring: blender pencils. Again, those of you who know me know that I love my blender pencils. My latest Udemy course that I did on hair is all done in Prismacolor pencils, because Prismacolors are the only brand that I ever use on hair, with minor exceptions. Like this, brand specific shows. Of course, the Black Widow stream I will do entirely in Black Widows. This poly stream I'm doing entirely in polys. But when I color for myself, I usually use only Prismacolors for hair, because the blender pencils are so amazing. And for me, blender pencils are lighter pencils that I apply over darker tones to create little highlights. And this was the ultimate test for my little blender pencil experiment, is adding little highlights to the hair over the black that I've already colored. And drum roll, it works beautifully. super impressed with how polys handle the lighter highlights over the darker tones. It's very hard to find that. I've tried other brands, didn't really like how they mixed. Even Black Widow pencils, don't tell Albert, the lighter tones don't layer over darker tones so well. So I actually change my approach depending on which brand I'm working with. Now, Black Widows have lots of other things that work in their favor. So to me, it's not a setback. I just know that I need to plan my coloring a little bit different. And I tend to use Black Widows for skin tones, like 98% of the time, because I tend to start with the darker tones and then add lighter ones on top. But for hair, I had to test it. And what did I test it with? I did black, warm gray 2, and then white. And it was beautiful. That's the highlights that I wanted. I don't want this hair to be so shiny as to use a white gel pen for the super tiny sparkly highlights. I don't want the hair to be overwhelming. We have too much bling going on here already. She has the little tassels, she has her makeup, she has a mask, she has all these flowers, she's gonna have decorations on her kimono. Like if her hair is also shiny, it would just be too much. So I wanted the hair to be a little bit subtle. Plus, it's kind of in the background. We have too many items on the foreground with the mask and the flowers that the hair is kind of in the shadow. I don't want it to be obscenely shiny. So I stuck with pencils. I added no markers to this coloring. Again, to stay true to what I promised you guys. This is a poly review. How am I doing with calling them polys instead of Faber-Castells? I think I sound better now, more professional. Wow, look at that detail. Yeah, I was very impressed with how much detail I can get onto this page. One other reason why I chose this page for this video was because of how detailed it is, so that I can test it out. I can test out the pencils on all the little flowers and all the little details on the face. I didn't get down to the snake. There's also a snake behind her in the bottom corner here. But I'm gonna ask you guys, I was gonna say later on in the show, but there's no reason not to ask you now. I don't finish this coloring in this video, but I do cover every single pencil in the box. However, there's still a flower and some more flowers and a snake left on this page. Would you guys be interested in me doing a separate video on that? Maybe a little 10-minute pre-recorded tutorial color along thing, maybe specifically dealing with flowers and how to color them. Let me know in the live chat if that is something you would be interested in, and if so, I'll make it happen. If not, no sweat. We have plenty of other things that we can work with. That is fun. Yes, please. Yes, absolutely. Lisa, are you going to do videos with polychromos doing skin tones? Yes, as a matter of fact, I will. I found this brand very pleasant to work with. However, in this small set of 24 pencils, there are enough colors to create some skin tones, but I would like to have more options. So I will probably purchase the large set before I do skin tones with this brand. Yes, please. Yes, I would love to see it. Snakes and flowers. Okay, you guys got it. I will do this on my own time and record it, and it will be a lesson dedicated to flower petals and snakes. And I guess more poly review, because apparently I'm a fan now. Yes, please. Awesome. I sound good. Speaking of how awesome I sound, what do you guys think of the mic? Good? Yay? Nay? Good sound? Too quiet? Too loud? I can actually adjust it. So if or if I'm too close to it, let me know. I can also move back. I'm still getting used to it. I'm now wearing my headphones to check how I sound, but I can also do that. Good sound. Sounds good here. Yes. Love the mic. Good sound. Awesome. And what do you guys think of this new layout and format? My patrons love it, which is why I stuck with it. This new format of pre-recording my coloring, announcing every single color, and that allows me to spend more time in the chat with you guys without my admin screaming at me in all caps about all the questions that I missed. Nice and clear. Awesome. Mike's great. That's so cool. And we still have 30 people watching. Thank you guys so much. And thank you for those thumbs up and those subscriptions. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Those of you who are just joining, the design that we're working with is available in my Etsy shop. The link is in the video description. All of my patrons have this design as a gift. I'm also wearing this design. You can get it on a t-shirt or a tank top or a hoodie or a dog bandana or a whole bunch of other stuff. There's a shop now. Go check it out. Love the format. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No, they're not allowed to scream at you. Well, in the live chat, the way to scream at me is in all caps. So as soon as I see all caps, I know that I'm being screamed at. But not always in a bad way, just to get my attention way. If you guys have any questions about what you're seeing on the screen, any questions at all about this brand and in my experience with it, or about any other brand that I have experience with, please feel free. Coffee mugs. Yes, we have coffee mugs as well. Please feel free to ask me right now. I'm here to I'm here to answer your questions. We do not scream, someone said in full caps. The shirts are so light and comfortable. Thank you, Mark. I am so pleasantly surprised with the quality of the shirts. I've done t-shirt printing in the past, over 8 years ago, before we moved to South America. Now we're back in the US. So the entire time that I was away, I haven't done any t-shirt printing. But when I did t-shirt printing over 8 years ago, it was not this advanced as it is today. The company that I'm doing, Ellen's laughing. The company that I'm doing the printing with, 100% on quality, amazing. And not just that the fabric is super high quality, the sizes are correct, like their charts are legit. And also, of course, the quality of the print itself. Some of my designs are like my actual colorings that I've done with pencils and like a high definition photos of my analog art or my digital art with lots of detail on it. You guys know me, I'm all about detail. And they come out just as well as they would come out on a printer, on an actual printer, except on fabric. And it doesn't make the fabric all crunchy and stiff. It's like, it's in the fabric. It's quite amazing. I'm very impressed with the prints. Cadmium yellow, 107. This would be the equivalent of canary yellow in the Prismacolor set. In fact, if I was going to say if I was doing it with my eyes closed, but with my eyes closed, I wouldn't be able to see the color. If the pencil was taped up and I couldn't see which set it came from, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between canary yellow from Prismacolor and this cadmium yellow from the Poly set. Amazing, super strong yellow color. And here I'm using it as a blender. I did a very light coat. This is a little bit of a spoiler alert for what we're going to do with the flower on the show. But I love doing it for things like flowers. Is I made a very, very light coloring of whatever my previous color was, Venetian red. Venetian red is kind of like an auburn color or chestnut brown color. So I added it very, very lightly, barely any, just like skimming the surface of the page. And now I'm adding yellow over it quite heavily. Not necessarily with a heavy hand, but with a firm grip and lots of layers. And this color doesn't need a lot of help in terms of pressure. It's a really strong color. So on its own, it's gorgeous. Look, I didn't even need to prime the page for this yellow to come out pure yellow. And that's saying a lot. I always prime the areas that I know will be the lightest and the parts that I want to be in the strongest saturation. Meaning, if I want pure yellow and I'm working on gray paper, I always prime that area with white charcoal so that the yellow is pure yellow. Here, I didn't even do that, and the yellow looks amazing and pure. That is saying a lot for the quality of these pencils. Oh my God, 35 people. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, and thank you for those thumbs up. And remember, if you're not enjoying the show, give it the thumbs down twice. That's the only way it works. So looking at how this yellow is blending with the Venetian red, it creates this beautiful transition effect that's like, it's almost like woodwork in that transition between the brown and the yellow. It's gorgeous. And a lot of times there are other brands that shall not be named, that sometimes when you try to blend a dark color like this Venetian red with the yellow, you end up with kind of scratchy, streaky effects. Not here. The blending is smooth and gorgeous, and it's enhancing the color underneath. Absolutely, absolutely recommend it. One of my favorite poly colors I use a lot is dark indigo. Dark indigo, do I have that? I have dark red. I do not believe I have dark indigo in my 24 pencil set. In my poor little starter kit. But like I said, I am so impressed with the brand. I will be getting the full set and doing more work with it. Dark indigo, I am looking forward to seeing that. That sounds like a beautiful blue. Link to Lisa's shop. Thank you guys. Thank you for taking care of of directing people to the links and everything. Let's see. Yes, mixed dark indigo with walnut brown, perfect black. Nice, Jasmine. Very nice recipe. Very nice color recipe. I am a big fan of creating black from scratch and not actually relying on the black pencil. That dark indigo with the walnut brown sounds amazing. Great advice. If you're not enjoying the show, we need to talk. Thank you, Vico Brain. Sam, welcome to the show. Hello to Australia. I am playing with polys, my very first time. What brand of pencils? Late to the party. This is my very first Faber-Castell box. This is a box of 24 polychromos. And I set a goal to myself to use every single pencil in the box on this coloring. And we're about halfway through right now on Earth Green. You guys know how I feel about green. Not a fan of green. And if I was doing this coloring without any kind of what should I say, challenge that I've set for myself, I would absolutely not use green. I would probably make these leaves in purple because my color palette tends to be in the brownish, ochre and purple kind of tones with a little bit of red. But because my challenge to myself was to use every single pencil on the box, I introduced some green. But you know what? I did not hate it. Not gonna say that I loved it. Nope. Not gonna go that far. There was only one box of green pencils that I actually enjoyed, and that was the Monarch set, the latest Black Widow set that has amazing blues and greens. I did a show on that doing the Jack and Sally from the Nightmare Before Christmas. So if you haven't seen that, check that out after this show. Don't actually leave to go watch that. Hello to all of my Australians. Yumi and the dog traveling Australia is my friend Sam. So great to see you. How's Max doing? Is he watching? I know Max can't hear very well, but I think he can see. So yes, green. You know, I'm not an expert on green because I don't use it very often, so I can't really say one way or another if this green was a good green or not a good green. It seems all right. I mean, it's green, right? How can you have feelings about green? Sorry, Cindy. I know you have feelings about green. Okay, this one was actually okay. This phthalo green. How do you even pronounce that? It has like no vowels in it. Phthalo green is actually not so bad. Dark phthalo green, because it's kind of an emerald green, which I find tolerable. I was about to say attractive, but that would be a lie about any green. Cindy, green is gorgeous. Phthalo, really? Phthalo, not phthalo. Phthalo. Okay. I never know how to pronounce that. I see it a lot, and I think it pops up again with some other color. Yes, we're gonna have phthalo blue again, but then it just sounds like I have a lisp, like a phthalo blue. Black is better. Ellen, yes, you would paint everything black if you had the choice. Oh, I saw the cutest thing the other day. I saw a coloring book set for goths, and it's a coloring book with gothic pictures in it. and a single black magic marker attached to it. I thought it was adorable. It would make an excellent gift for anyone who's gothic. Phthalo, phthalo. People are giving me different variations of it. I love greens and purples. Stacy, Cindy is the same way. She likes greens and purples together. In fact, there's movement behind me. What are you doing? Are you making a little nest for yourself? Isn't she adorable? She lives there. The A is a long A. So are you guys messing with me? You just want me to say it in all sorts of weird ways on the show. Phthalo. It's green. It's emerald green. I'm just going to call it emerald green. That's it. Okay. Now, another gorgeous red. Pale Geranium Lake. Beautiful name as well, by the way. Gorgeous, gorgeous red. A little bit lighter. You know, it's like red apple red. Like really refreshing, beautiful, just pure saturation red. Very classic red. If I was doing an old school tattoo, I would use this kind of a red for this part of the flower. In fact, I kind of approached this drawing and coloring very much as I would an old school tattoo. Oh, hello, Shelby. Shelby, people are saying hello to you. You guys can't see Foxtail. He's, let's see, maybe we can see him if I turn my camera a bit. There he is. There's Foxtail. You can see a little blue donut. He's wearing a donut of shame. Instead of a cone of shame, he has a donut of shame. But he loves it. He thinks it's a pillow, so now he doesn't even let me take it off. Hi, honey. Oh, you heard your name. Come on, let's go back to your place, honey. Come on, go back to your place. Places. Good girl. Okay, I'm back. She heard her name and she got really excited. She always comes over and says hello when I'm doing private lessons. She jumps up on my lap and says hello. Oh, okay. I got excited about my own coloring. Okay, so now I'm using this really gorgeous, the classic red, tattoo red. I'm going to call it tattoo red. I'm going to give them my own names. Like the green was an emerald green. This is tattoo red. I'm using this tattoo red on the flower, hoping to create a nice, delicate pink effect. Even though I have a pink pencil, but I actually don't. This little set of 24 does not have pink in it. So this pure red plus the white will make theoretically, an excellent pink. I dropped my little paper. I'll be right back. So the white that I had on the flower is the white from the white charcoal that I added in the beginning in anticipation of doing something delicate like this with the flower later on. And I didn't color it entirely. I just trailed off the little white lines from the tips of the petals down to the center of the flower. And now I'm working backwards with the red coming out from the center of the flower towards the edges of the petals. And I'm using just the single strokes because I imagine that the flower actually has that kind of coloring. Sometimes these flowers, they have almost like little lines that go along the petals. And of course, again, this is a very classic old school tattoo type of coloring. So I guess I was inspired by that. Anyway, I only did tattoos for like 10 years. So, you know, all those habits, they stay with you. Great idea. Thank you. Aw, she wants in on the action. Blows kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Kisses for you from my fans. She's great on camera. She often helps us out with videos. Foxtail, hey buddy. Foxtail's snoring so loudly. You guys might actually hear him. Let me know if you can hear him snoring. If you hear background noise, it's like that's Foxtail snoring in his donut. I hate coloring flowers. I've never got the knack for them. Okay, Sam. Well, the next show is going to be for you because I think before you joined just now, they voted on me doing this flower in a lesson on how to do flowers. So I'll be doing that in the weeks to come. And maybe we can ease you into this flower thing a little bit more. Time for white. Even though I already had white charcoal down there on the first layer of this flower, I have to test every single pencil in the box. That's the deal. So now I'm using white again from the tips, going back down. So first I went from the base of the petal out with the red strokes, and now backwards from the tips to the center so that they overlay like this. And in this overlay, in this mesh, is where the pink happens, and it happens naturally. And I think it came out just beautifully. It's a perfect pink. So that's another thing that was tested here. Oh my God, this one's actually called emerald green. I already called the other one emerald green. I gotta start renaming my pencils. Okay, yeah, I can dig that. That's emerald. We can call them dark emerald and light emerald. Or I can just call pencils what they're actually called and stop inventing stuff. Flowers are a pain for me as well, Sam. Okay, well, sounds like it's going to be a cool little video on how to color flowers. Somebody else has been asking me to do a whole Udemy course on flowers. So I still have that in the works, but there's so many other requests for Udemy courses before flowers that I don't know when that's going to come about. But mostly people just want more skin tones and, of course, creepy gothic stuff for Halloween. More green, yes, yes, more green. It has to be done. But notice how little of it I'm using. This pencil did not get a lot of love from me at all. Light green, it's like my nemesis. So it's just like the tips of the leaves, and that's it. If you blinked, you missed it. So I'm moving on to colors that are more near and dear to my heart. Grays and browns. Lisa, can we vote on snake colors? Yes, please. Let's vote right now. Let's vote on snake colors. This snake that's on the bottom left corner of this page. What color would you guys like to see it? And also the flower. What color would you like to see that in? You know, this page doesn't need to look all balanced and put together in the end. If we're just using it for practice, I can make the flower any color at all, even if it clashes with the rest of the page. So the snake won't be green then. Unless that's what you guys vote on. I am at your command. We need a course on fantasy skin, special lighting effects. Okay, that may actually be covered in the course that I'm working on right now, which is undead skin tones. And that's actually, this is the character from the painting behind me. She's also a page that's up on Etsy. And of course, this page is going to be available to the Udemy students when the course comes out. And other pages will be there as well to do different kinds of undead skin tones. So we'll have like the traditional zombie look. We'll have the more classic and elegant vampire look. We'll have, I'm not going to give too much away, but there are going to be different kinds of undead skin tones that you can actually apply to other coloring. It doesn't have to be a page of a character that's obviously undead. Dark purple for the snake. I like the way you think, Sam. I like dark purple. Red, orange, and purple because I love you. Thank you, Cassandra. I do love orange and purple. Thank you kindly. I like my Australian crew. You guys support my color choices. Turquoise green. Okay, just because it has the word turquoise in it, I will let it pass. Poor light green. I know light green got like two seconds of screen time. Ghost, yes, a ghost will also be in the course on undead looks. Yes, ghost, zombie, vampire are the three that I can talk about. But I tend to do my. I just started this course. I haven't even started the speaking part on it yet. Just the coloring part. So it will take me a couple of months to put that together for you guys. But ghost and vampire. Usually I tend to keep my Udemy courses with 3 subdivisions. So for crystals, we did 3 types of crystals: standalone crystal, crystal cluster, and a geode. For skin tones, we did light skin tone, medium skin tone, dark skin tone. For metals, we did 3 colors of metals. For hair, I actually did 5 just because hair is such a broad topic. but I went through them faster because it's a lot of the same on here, just with different colors. Time for me to go, Heather. Oh, sad face. It's okay. The stream will remain online forever and ever, so you can watch the rest of it when you're back. Bye. Purple and yellow, also a really cool combination. Complementary colors. Someone knows their color wheel. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see what color I'm actually working with here. What is this? I think I'm working with a gray or a walnut brown. I missed it. What color am I working with? The colors that I'm working with is warm gray 5. This isn't, it's confusing. This is 2, but I meant to show like the V for 5. Just showed up as warm gray 2. But warm gray 2 was a previous color that we used. So warm gray 5 is what I'm using right now. I imagine that in the full polychromo set, there's a full scale of warm and cool grays. Oh, honey. Going from 1 to 9. So in this set, I have 2 and 5. So hopefully in the full set, there are lots of different grays. I have loved all the Udemy courses. Thank you very much. What do you want, honey? Do you need to go outside? Let's call tech support and ask him to take the dog outside. Hey. Shelby needs to go out. Hi, honey. Come here. Let's say hello to the peeps. There she is. There she is. There's my girl. Okay. Tech support will come and get you. 1 to 6. Okay. Jasmine says 1 to 6 on grays in the full poly set. Really? It doesn't go up higher than 6? What number set do you have? 120? There are lots of grays in the polys 120. Okay, that's what I like to hear. I love my grays. Actually, I haven't looked online at the full sets and what they contain, but I think right after the show I will, because I think I must have the full spectrum of these colors. They're absolutely gorgeous. 12 grays. Wow. Okay. Oh, 12 grays actually makes sense with what Jasmine said. If they're 6 warms and 6 cools, then that adds up to 12. That makes perfect sense. No, they said had to say hello. All right, she's gonna go outside. I think that's what she was asking. Okay, so that gray. Let's see. That was the gray. I'm just gonna keep this box open here. All right, next up we have burnt ochre. Burnt ochre is a very classic color. It exists in pretty much every color pencil set. And actually, it's one of those colors that has a funky name, but everyone agrees on what it is. Like burnt ochre is burnt ochre. Most of them look identical. Some colors are totally mismatched. My patrons know how I feel about the word sepia and how it's a total lie and how no two sepias are the same, that they range from reddish brown to greenish brown to brown brown to gray brown to really dark brown, and they're all called sepia. So you can't actually match a sepia to a sepia from a different set. But burnt ochre is one of those colors that's actually true to its name, much like emerald green. Emerald green is pretty much always just emerald green. They're warm, cool, and French grays in a 120 set. I love my French grays. I love them. I go into a whole thing on French grays in my how to color hair course. Almost a little too far. Almost. But I go into this whole theory and history on where the word French gray came from. How are polys for the feel of them going down? Are they sticky or satiny? They're kind of creamy, I would say. They're very, very soft, but not like gooey soft. They don't feel like wax pencils, but they feel... It's a weird comparison, but it almost feels like putting makeup on, even though it's a completely different style of a thing. You know, it's a totally different texture. Makeup is powder, and you put it on with brushes or fingers, as I do. and these are pointed pencils, but the feel of it on paper is that soft. It's not scratchy at all. They're not sticky either. And when I layer one color on top of another, now they want to play. When I layer one color on top of another, they're also not getting all clumpy. You know, sometimes if you try to layer, they kind of get clumpy, and then you get that break in the pigment, and you can see back through your paper again, through onto your paper again. This doesn't do that. They layer so smoothly one over another. And it's, you know, it's difficult to describe how something feels. You kind of have to experience it for yourself. So I'm hoping that you guys will grab even just a small set like mine to get a feel for this brand, because I definitely highly recommend it. Again, not sponsored by them. No one paid me to say good things about them. But I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away, especially by the strong pigments and the blending functionality. Amazing. Not so impressed with the black and the white. They're okay. I mean, the white is great. The black is the one that I was like, eh. But the rest of them are absolutely phenomenal colors. And yes, I know that black and white are not colors. Pigments. You know what I mean. Awesome. Cornstarch feel. Okay. Purples. Oh, yeah, we're still talking about the snake. It looks like people kind of want a purple snake, or purple and orange. Purple with something. There isn't a lot of purple on this coloring, so introducing purple into it, I think will be very nice. For those of you just joining in, we're talking about the snake that's in the corner of the picture. I didn't finish coloring the snake. Actually, I didn't even start coloring the snake, but I didn't finish this page. But I plan to in a separate video. So we're all voting on the color of the snake and also the flower. Nobody said anything about the flower. Lots of you have insecurities about coloring flowers or discomforts. Please let me know what you would enjoy to see. We already did this kind of a yellow orange flower behind the geisha, and we did a pink flower in her hair. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flowers left on this picture, with one huge one, so we can even do a different color for each flower if you guys want to practice flower effects. Like this page it's not going in a museum anytime soon. It's a playground for us to test the pencils, so it can clash. It doesn't matter, it's for practice. Yeah, you're going to end up with more kinds of pencils than me, Cassandra says. I might. Albert Jones just sent me a whole box of Black Widow pencils as well. And thank you, by the way, Albert, because my stuff from Chile hasn't arrived yet. We moved here over 2 months ago, and all the stuff that we shipped separately, because we only came with a couple of suitcases and the dogs, and we brought stuff that wouldn't be damaged in transit by the baggage throwers. So I didn't bring my nice brand new sets of Black Widow pencils. I had them professionally packed, and it's all being shipped along with the rest of my art. And the rest of the studio equipment, it's all being shipped from Chile in a container, and it's now 2 months delayed, I think, or a month delayed. It's delayed. It's Chile. What are you gonna do? It's always delayed. So none of my stuff is here yet, and I was about to do this huge Black Widow live stream, and I don't have any of my pencils. And when Albert Jones got got word of it, he just sent me a whole box of Black Widows that I'm missing, so that I can do my show. So thank you again, my friend, so much. I really appreciate it. And of course, they've already been put to use. The Black Widow colorings are behind me. I don't know if you can see them on my drawing board. Of course, I got carried away and made more than one page for the show, because you know me, I can't contain myself. And I had to create a new coloring page for Black Widow so that I can actually demonstrate as many pencils as I can from the Black Widow sets. 1 second. Come here, honey. Go to your place. Go to your place, sweetheart. I'm doing a show. Come on. Go to your place. Go to your place. Mama's listening. Good girl. Sorry about that, kids. I have lots of sets of pencils as well. Yeah, I feel like that's the way to go. You really need to have, you know, your mountain of pencils to choose from. Oh, neon colors. This is fun. Okay. Dark cadmium orange. This is practically a neon color. The Prismacolor neon orange is very close to this. This isn't quite as neon-y, but it's not, I mean, it's not claiming to be a neon orange. Maybe there's also a neon orange in the bigger set, but this is What is it called again? See, I can't, even in real life, I can't read the names. The gold on the color is too difficult to read. So yes, that's my one and only complaint about the brand, is that the names are really hard to read, and that calligraphy gold over the colors is, it's hard. Dark cadmium orange is this color, and it's a beautiful orange. I have a feeling that we'll be working with this orange a lot come Halloween. Cool. I got a set of 12 in Prismacolors. Okay, I have that one as well. I think this is my tiniest Prismacolor set. I have the middle one and the huge one as well. And this is, no, I think this is the, oh, actually it's not so tiny. It has 3 layers of pencils in here. Okay, never mind. Apparently I have a ton of Prismacolors. And a ton of Black Widows. So about Black Widows, when we do the stream next Saturday, when I'm going to be coloring the Black Widow coloring page, my goal in the show will, of course, be to introduce you guys to the Black Widow brand, to interview Albert Jones, to run the giveaways, and to get you over to our camp of Black Widow, because I love the brand so much. Again, not sponsored. Albert and I are just friends. And we happen to become friends after I already became a huge fan of Black Widow pencils. So, true fan. And I want you guys to enjoy the brand as well. However, there are so many Black Widow pencils. There's 3 main sets that are 24 pencils each. There's the Monarch set that's 48 pencils, and there are 2 skin tone sets that are combined 24 pencils. So for me to use every single pencil in every single set on just a single Black Widow coloring page would be impossible. So I used maybe 30 pencils, and I tried to grab them from different sets so that every little set gets represented. But don't expect me to use all 300 and whatever pencils there are all together. I like the Castle Arts too, and love the Black Widows. Castle Arts. Oh, that's another brand I don't know yet. I will look it up. You're right. Great stardom. Let's see. Just catching up on the chat. I got the set of 12. I actually like my Castle Arts. Okay, everyone's talking about Castle Arts now. I don't know Castle Arts. Tell me more. Or I would love to see how a white flower is colored. Okay, I like the way you're thinking. I think this front flower would actually look gorgeous in white. I did do a video on how to color white flowers. If you look up in my channel, or if one of my admins can quickly find that video and post a link to it here, that was the video on how to make lines disappear. And I color white roses, and I make the actual outlines of the coloring page disappear, making the roses as close to realistic as possible. So that might be a fun video for you to watch. But a white flower is something that I will consider for that as well, because I think it would look absolutely gorgeous. You can't get Castle Arts single pencils. Okay, you guys got me curious about Castle Arts. So I'm going to have to check it out. Or if you wish to send me a box for me to do a live review like this one, please reach out to me personally, because I can't give out my address publicly, but I am more than happy to share it with people on an individual basis if you want to send me stuff for me to review live like I'm doing right now. Always happy to do that. And it's going to be an honest review, you guys. I'm not ever going to rave about something that I don't enjoy. I'm going to do a review regardless. This was going to be a review regardless. And if I don't like something, I'm going to do a review about how I don't like it and why. Never going to lie to you, never going to fluff things up. Even if it's a sponsored video and somebody's paying me to do a review of it, I'm going to do an honest review of it. They'll probably never sponsor me again, but you guys are why I do this show. Harley Quinn. What about Harley Quinn? The Harley Quinn video? I won't buy things I can't get new single ones. That's actually a pretty good strategy. Especially when it comes to large sets, like Prismacolors. I run out of white like that. Like my white just drops down to nothing, and some of the grays and the black are just gone entirely. And then I'm left with a box of, guess what? green. I have more green pencils than anyone because I never use them. I have the Zenacolor budget pencils, but I find them so hard. It takes a pen. Okay. Uh, oh no, please don't become a pencil reviewer. No, I'm not gonna turn my channel into being a pencil reviewer. Um, but I would like to do more product reviews like I'm doing right now. So if you guys are enjoying this show and enjoying the way that I run it and this format, this presentation, and this knowledge and my experience, then I would like to do more shows like that because I'm enjoying it greatly. And obviously, I want to do things on the show that I also enjoy. But if you guys don't like this, then also let me know, and I'll consider that in my future videos. Lisa needs more Karandash. I will not argue with you guys. If you think I need more of something, I'll welcome anything in the studio. Like I said, reach out to me, and we'll talk. I'll do a review of anything that you send me. You can't have enough pencils. I couldn't agree more. You cannot. Okay, so a little bit on this mask that I'm working on. One of my community members was struggling with making this mask black. And my first inclination for this black was also to make it for this mask was also to make it like a ceramic black, but her hair is black, so I didn't want that to clash. I didn't want it to be too much black on her head. I wanted the mask to really stand out. Plus, I'm reviewing a pencil set, so I want to show off different colors. So I decided to go with like a copper color for the mask. But for my colorist who is struggling with making this mask blue or black, you wanted to give it a green undertone. The approach is exactly the same as what I'm doing right now. Mine has an orange undertone. Yours has green, but the approach is exactly the same. Notice that I spent quite a bit of time priming it with orange and brown and establishing the lighter areas and the darker areas. And now I'm adding purple over it. What actually am I adding over it? Is it purple? Is it black? It's actually solid black because there isn't a dark purple in the set. Yeah, so I just did the whole mask in orange. That's my undertone. For you, that's green. And now I'm going over it with black. If I wanted the mask to actually ultimately be black, I would just keep this going quite a bit further. Now, I ultimately decided to keep my mask orange, copper colored. But if I was going for black ceramic, just more layers of black over and over and over until hardly any orange or green in your case is visible. Dark chrome yellow, another very cool color. The previous yellow that we used was a cadmium yellow, and I compared it to canary yellow from the Prismacolor set. This dark chrome yellow is, there's also an equivalent of it in the Prismacolor set, but I can't think of a name right now. But it's just a gorgeous yellow. It's like an egg yolk yellow, like classic egg yolk yellow, very strong, beautiful, would be excellent for yellow metals. For those of you who have taken my metals course, how to color metals on Udemy, if you've taken that course or if you signed up for that course and didn't start the gold lesson yet, this color is excellent for those yellow highlights that we add at the end. Goldenrod, yeah, goldenrod, that's it. Cool, thanks, Lisa. You're welcome for the mask advice, I assume. Yeah, try it. Me too. It can be overwhelming. I keep running out of space. It can be overwhelming. Are you guys talking about running out of space in your studios because you have so many pencils? Yeah. I'm not very good at organization in my studio. As you can see right now, I just have all of my Black Widows piled on my desk behind me. And I also have shelves there on the left off screen that are kind of pull-out shelves that I just have everything dumped into. And my giant box of pencils is on the way from Chile. That's the huge box that I used to use for tattoo supplies back in the day. And now I just use it for all of my pencils, different brands, all mixed together. You guys are always horrified when you see it. And of course, the unopened boxes of Prismacolors that I have that are on the way as well. I have lots of supplies on the way. I have a box full of markers too, and lots of gel pens and pen pastels, and my new toys, ink pads. Ink pads are fun. Jasmine, take some photos of your supplies. Post them in the community. We'd love to see it. We have an entire topic on art supplies. So would love to see it. Would also love to see how you guys organize your studio, because me, I'm not organized at all. I can't even put pencils back in their boxes. They just, as soon as they leave the box, that's it. They go in a pile. I am so not organized when it comes to pencils, which is why I have these papers when I color. Is I grab a pencil that looks more or less right to me. I test it. If I like it, I go with it. But no organizational strategies when it comes to pencils whatsoever. I would love to see yours. Snap a photo, post it in the community. What community am I talking about? Talm, of course. Talm, Talm. The link is in the video description. If you're not already a member, just join. All you have to do is knock. I let pretty much everyone in. I have a thumb drive that only has Lisa's artwork. Oh, how cool. I like that. Yes, I'm horrible at organizing too. All mine are in cases. Okay. No, I won't show my messy room. Oh, come on. You guys get to see my messy room, complete with a dog hobo bed. I won't judge, I promise. Oh, okay. Sam, if you're still with us, this is the closest color to chartreuse that I found in my box of polys. This is light yellow glaze. Beautiful color. I would call this a lemon yellow. Tech support is with us. Hello, tech support. Yay! I am even going to say hello to you in the chat. Woohoo! Tech support, everyone. Say hello to my lovely off-screen assistant, tech support. Nice. We were just talking about organizational skills. I asked everyone to post pictures of their organizational skills as far as pencils go and post it in the community. And I followed that up by demonstrating my organizational skills behind me. And that's what my studio looks like all the time. And that's only the part that you guys can see. Usually there's a whole pile of stuff off screen as well. I just kind of shove it all off screen for the show. And most of my desk you guys can't see either. There's like piles of stuff here. Hey, tech support. Hello, tech support. Everyone says hi. It's great to have Tech with us. It's a little weird to have him in the chat though and not actually in the room. But worry not. He'll be live with us during the big Black Widow show. And I have to find a way to put spiders above him again, because that's his curse. He always has spiders above him. We've been missing you. Welcome home, Tech. Yay! Oh, yes. Thank you, Mark. If you wish to join me on Patreon, one of the ways to support me and my channel and all this art that I bring to you is to become a patron. And of course, the link to that is in the video description below. Patron tiers start at just $1. You can join. You can support me. Spider. You can support me for a month. I'm trying to make a spider sign. That's kind of a spider, right? Trying not to make a butterfly. Look, Tech, it's a butterfly. So yeah, join me on Patreon. We do a lot of cool stuff. My pack members and I meet every 2 months for a private show that never gets released and remains private. And we learn a lot of really cool, very in-depth theory. So consider that. If you aren't a Talm member already, also join us. Excellent idea. Talm is my private community. That costs nothing to join, and it's a community much like Facebook, but without all the Facebook noise and bureaucracy and politics. It's just us. We're a family. We're awesome. We're all very friendly and very supportive, and we all do things to help each other grow as colorists and artists. So no strings attached. Join the community. Link in the description below. And like all the private chat happens in Talm, in the private community, because I don't take that stuff on Facebook anymore. All right, I'm coloring with that gorgeous red again. That, what did I call it? The tattoo red? Tattoo red for the eyes on the mask. And again, white for the little highlight on the eye on the mask. The white is starting to grow on me at this point. You know, it's not as intense as the Prismacolor white, but maybe it doesn't need to be. After all, I have my white charcoal and everything that I needed to be white or light or fully saturated in the end. I primed with white charcoal in the beginning of the show. Better than Facebook. Very, very true. Very true. Lisa's Patreon link. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dress Tech up as Black Widow. Did you hear that, Tech? Mark wants you to dress up as Black Widow. Now, if you dress up as Black Widow, you're gonna have to do the poser move with the swishing of the hair and everything. None of my wigs are here yet. We may have to get you a wig. If you like to color, you will actually save money on what? What are we talking about? I am. The Crimson Dynamo. Okay, you can be the Crimson Dynamo. You don't have to be the Black Widow. I have no hair. I know. You have no hair. That's why we need a wig for you. But hey, we live in a country where we can buy stuff now. We can go out and buy you a Black Widow wig. I just pictured that. Maybe we should spare the audience. Oh my god, I love our internet, says tech support. Our internet, you guys. Oh my god. Our internet. The internet was one of the main reasons that we left Chile and came back to the United States. And that's the true. Tech, you may wish to tell them a little bit about our internet in the live chat while I talk about this gorgeous red that I'm using right now. This recording that I do it with that little camera that's hanging over my drawing screen, that little Osmo camera. And while it's a small pocket camera, it's actually, I love the Osmo camera. I'm going to put it in my Amazon review shop as well, because highly recommend the Osmo camera. And it records in 4K. But just on that really poorly lit table with my tiny little Osmo camera, I did no post-production editing on this recording other than cutting out a few moments that were breaks that were longer than a minute, so that we don't have just empty air. And of course, I added the little titles, but I did no color correction on this. This is actually the pure form of the color, the way that my 4K camera recorded it. This is amazing. This again is cannot read these names. They're too tiny. Pale Geranium Lake 121. For those of you who are just joining the show, my one and only complaint about this polychrome set is that the names are really hard to read. As you can see on the video, I keep twisting and twirling the pencils to try to catch the name so that you guys can read it on the camera, but there's too much reflection because the names are written in this cursive gold letters, which are gorgeous, but really hard to read. My only complaint. Usually there's at least one. But like I promised you guys, this is an honest review. This is the good, the bad, and the weird. So the color itself, though, like I can live with the names being a little bit difficult to read. That's not going to stop me from purchasing more of these pencils at all, because the colors themselves are absolutely worth it. Now, this Pale Geranium Lake color is so intense. Earlier in the show, I was calling it tattoo red because this is exactly the kind of pure red that I would use if I was doing an old school tattoo. What am I missing? What were we talking about? The internet. Amazon Prime. Let's not dress me up as Black Widow. Talking about the internet. Yes, I was so over our Chilean internet by the time we left. Oh, it was falling apart. It was entirely falling apart. We were joking that we live in the computer simulation and the game level that we're in is being disassembled or abandoned. We're like, we need hot fixes now because nothing was working. You guys notice how we stopped streaming towards the end of our stay in Chile. And that's because the internet was getting so crappy that we just couldn't keep a show going. But now, look at this luxury. No interruptions, no delays. The audio is great. The colors are great. I have no complaints. Tech is actually behind the scenes looking at the graphs and speaking to his machines and his bots. So he can tell you more about how amazing the internet is, because he's the master of the machines. And he tells them what to do, and he's really happy here, you guys. Just having the internet, having his bots and everything working, it's amazing. Talking about a great idea. What are you guys talking about? Go over the name with white chalk marker and then wipe it off. Makes it easier to see them. What a great idea. I might do that. Because they're actually engraved in it. So, if I run my fingernail over them, I can feel that they're textured. Yeah. And I think, the words themselves are, the font is fine. It's just that gold is so highly reflective that all I see is glitter and glimmer, and it's hard to read them. I will take your advice. I will try that. And I will let you know on the next show how it worked. If you ruined my pencils or not. I love the way the mask looks. Thank you, Cassandra. I was pleasantly surprised with the mask. I had my insecurities about it. Like I told you early in the show, the original plan was to make it black, and then I switched to copper. All right, and now I'm going to put the white pencil in the spotlight. I was going to color the entire sun red, but halfway through it, I decided that a nice gradient would be a really good demonstration for how these colors blend. And it will also put the white pencil in the spotlight. So this is the Faber-Castell white. I've had Faber-Castell white pencils before in my collection, quite a bit actually. I had an entire coffee mug with all different brands of white pencils, and Faber-Castells were among them, but I never used them because Prismacolors were also among them. And Prismacolor white is my absolute favorite white colored pencil. So because it outshined the Faber-Castell ones, I just never used the Faber-Castell. I only used Prismacolor. But in this video, I set out to use every single pencil in the box, and white was among them, so I had to give it a fair trial. So here it is. It's not quite as impressive as white Prismacolor, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. If you have only this white, if you're only working with polys and you don't have Prismas, don't bother going out and buying white Prismacolor pencils separately. It's so close, it's negligible. Still, if you have both, I have both, I will always go for Prismacolor over this because I have both. And because somebody kindly just sent me a 12-pack of white Prismacolor pencils. Thank you very much. So I have them, and I only have one of these. So obviously, in my case, I will go for Prismacolor most of the time. But here, I'm not angry at this white at all. Is it out of this world, mind-blowing, amazing? No, it's not. Is it disappointing? No, it's absolutely not. It's right on. It's a really good, high-quality white pencil. Again, not really anything to write home about in comparison to Prismacolor, but absolutely satisfactory, above satisfactory even. It's a good pencil. And we used it early on the highlights on the hair, and I was impressed with that. Not pure white highlights, but for any lighter color to layer over a darker color is a really good reflection on the quality of the pencil, on the quality of the brand. Okay, looks like somebody's starting to ask me a question. Lisa, when using two colors, one being white, which do you lay down first? It depends on the brand. With Black Widows, I would lay down the darker color first for skin tone blending. Because that creates the smoothest short transition. So on like that cheekbone transition, I would start with a dark brown and then I would layer a lighter color. On Prismacolors, I go either way because they blend very smoothly. On something like this with polychromos, now that I'm listening to myself talk about it, it seems like most of the time I start with a darker color and then I add the lighter color. So scratch everything else that I said. Most of the time I start with a darker color and then I add the lighter one on top. But consider that, how wide is your gradient? Is it going edge to edge or is it a very narrow gradient? If it's a very narrow gradient, it really doesn't matter. On a really white gradient, your lighter tones do need to be able to go over the darker one for the blending to work. So far on the three brands that I really love and work with, Black Widows, Prismacolors, and Polys, either way will work, but I personally prefer to start with a darker color and then continue with the lighter. Listening to Lisa's review of this white pencil reminds me of someone who reviewed a Star Trek film and said, for a not numbered Star Trek film, it almost didn't suck. Yeah, yeah, pretty much, pretty much. This white pencil, it almost doesn't suck. It's a pretty accurate description. It's doable. That's doable. That was a good description, Tech. Um, the even ones are good too. The odd ones are less. Hey, Star Wars rules. Yes, Mark is a diehard Star Wars fan. Lots of us Star Wars fans in here, yes. But I'm a Star Trek fan as well. Do you have to pick a side? I'm not. I'm not like a diehard Star Wars fan or Star Trek fan. I just enjoy both of them, but I see that the audience seems to be pretty divided here. Star Trek is better. Okay, okay. Now we're into Star Trek, Star Wars universe. Okay, but talking about the gradient, I'll get back to the Star Wars and Star Trek in a minute. Whoever asked me about the gradient, watch this part right now about how far into the red I'm going with my white. Now, if the brand of pencil that you're working with doesn't allow for this, doesn't allow for that white sheen to go over the red, then obviously, work backwards. Add the white first and then the red over it. And how do you know? Scrap paper. I cannot preach this enough. Always try your effects on scrap paper first and then on your actual coloring. Try it both ways. See which way that you like better. For me, if I was to do this backwards, if I was to do the white first and then the red over it, the thing that I don't like about it is that the red can appear a little bit scratchy. You have to spend a little bit more time on that transition from red to white and be super careful, and it may not come out as smooth. Battlestar Galactica. Yes, Alan, I'm a huge Battlestar fan. Yay, we have a lot in common, Alan. I like you and your dark mind. Previously, previously on Battlestar Galactica, previously on our show, Alan suggested that we color everything in black. So, a colorist after my own heart. Back to our lesson. Here, though, when I added the red first and then the white over, look how smooth it is. The white acts as a blender pencil. It also smooths out the red pigment underneath, creating that pink transition. So for me, a lighter color over the darker one is always better for blending. But your pencil brand has to support that kind of an effect. Not all of them do. The brands that I tend to love and recommend are the ones that do. How are we on Star Trek and Star Wars? Ah, it the remake was good until it got weird. What are we talking about? Battlestar? I liked Battlestar. I actually only saw the remake. I never saw the original. Sorry. I thought that Starbuck was always a girl. I had no clue. I almost forgot about Buck Rogers. Love Battlestar Galactica. Okay, frack. Yes, Mark, frack. Frack is something we can say on the show. I promised that this would be a child-friendly show, but we can't say frack because it's a Battlestar Galactica word. Another great series. Yes. The Expanse. We just finished watching The Expanse, and then we finished watching The Expanse again. We love Miller. In fact, Miller has a portrait in our house on a wall around around the corner. Space disco. Okay, now you guys lost me. Oh my god, really? You have a Firefly tattoo. Serenity is awesome. I love the whole Firefly season. Yes, Firefly. Yes. Farscape. Okay. Cool. Okay, what am I doing here? Oh, I lied to you guys again. Sorry. Earlier on the show, previously on Coloring with Lisa, I told you that I never used gel pens on this coloring, and in fact I did. White gel pen for the highlights. Miller for my Expanse fans. This is my painting of Miller that hangs on the wall. Thank you. Thank you, disembodied hand. My other lovely assistant. Spaceballs! Tech, you're missing out. We're talking about Spaceballs. Wow, this show just got awesomely weird. Oh, you can hear.
And I can hear you in the other ear too.
Oh my god. Tech is always with us. Okay, you have to show your face since you're here. They saw Miller and they didn't see you. Ladies and gentlemen, my lovely assistant, tech support.
Not wearing a Black Widow wig.
Yay! Not yet.
Ain't gonna happen.
It might happen.
Ain't gonna happen.
I have my own Amazon account. I might have one tomorrow. Poser! Poser! Now swish.
I heard something.
Okay, you do the move and I'll do the hair. Together we'll be a Black Widow.
Ready?
Okay. That was pretty horrific, wasn't it? We will not do this again. They love it. Oh yes, weird from here. Oh, how many of you saw the Black Widow film? You still have a whole week to watch it before the big Black Widow stream. But how many of you here today have already seen the film? Because I don't want to give away too much. Let me fix my hair. And by fix my hair, I mean just mess it up more. Not yet, Cindy. Okay. You're gonna love it. We really enjoyed it. Loved it. I know, Mark, you saw it several times already, didn't you? Love it so much. It was awesome. I have it. Awesome movie. Not me, not yet. Love it. Saw it twice. Okay. For those of you who have seen it, how cool was Baby Widow's hair, huh? So cool. I loved it. For those of you who are about to see it, you're in for a pleasant surprise, especially if you follow this show. Oh, yeah, lots of cool characters in there. Love it. Lisa, you're so skilled in doing makeup on your characters. Thank you kindly. I do enjoy it. We should have a separate show on makeup. Different kinds of makeup. Smoky eye makeup, geisha makeup, all sorts of makeup. Do a tutorial on that and how to color glitter. Fun. Glitter is a fun topic. I have one video. If one of my admins can find this video and post a link, it's a video on the Cinderella dress that I did. This sparkly blue Cinderella dress shows how to do glitter, but I can certainly do more glitter effects with you guys if you like it. I just went this afternoon. Ellen, how did you like it? It wasn't really very dark, but I suspect, Ellen, that you enjoyed at least parts of it. Ellen and I are in a constant debate of Wolverine versus Deadpool. I'm in the Deadpool camp. He's in the Wolverine camp. I have not watched it yet. Okay, we won't say too much. But full disclosure, during the Black Widow stream, we will be referring to the movie. So if you haven't seen it, close your ears. But don't miss my show just because you haven't seen the Black Widow's film. Love the makeup idea. Okay, we'll do some makeup videos. Oh, definitely Deadpool. Yay! Ego Brain is in my camp. Deadpool rocks. Yes, makeup. Wolverine. Don't get me wrong, I don't actually dislike Wolverine, but you can't really support both. Somebody posted a link. Is that the link to the sparkly video? Thank you kindly. And speaking of, thank you guys for the thumbs up. I see that we have 39 of them already. Thank you kindly. And if you don't subscribe to the channel yet, please do so. That way you'll never miss a show. You can watch it on Disney Plus. Yes, you can watch the Black Widow film on Disney Plus now. Very cool. I heard good reviews about watching it on Disney Plus. Deadpool, Mark, really? Mark, really? I would not have pegged you for a Deadpool fan. Huh. All right. Well, welcome to the camp. Loki versus Doctor Strange. I have not seen that. I haven't seen any of the Loki films. we saw Loki and like the Thor movies and stuff, but I haven't seen any of his individual stuff. Nor have we seen WandaVision yet, but I heard great reviews about it. We actually have a lot to catch up on in the Marvel universe. Yes, the sparkly dress. My hair is like all over the place now. My hair. Doctor Strange is hot. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Especially in that cape of his. A very good look. He kind of reminds me of tech support. The unreasonably smart and snarky and too good for to work with anyone else. Just like this kind of a snarky genius reminds me of tech support. Is part of the hotness. Deadpool fan. Kim is a Deadpool fan. Oh, okay. I like Kim even more now. I've never met Kim, but I hear so much about her, and she just sounds like we would be excellent friends. All right, looks like I'm finishing up this flower here, which I think is the last thing that I have left on this coloring. As you guys voted on earlier, I will be doing a video on the flower and the snake, and it seems like everyone agreed on a purple snake, I think. Yay, nay, agree, disagree, purple snake, and all sorts of different color flowers. Blues. I forgot about the blues. I thought I was almost done with that last flower, but we're still going to do the kimono, and that will be the last part. Now, you guys know I love blue. I love blue, and these blues are delicious. In this set, there aren't that many blues. In fact, there are only 4. We used one already on the skin tone, and now I'm going to use these last 3 over here. These are actually in order in which I colored the coloring. So the blues are actually the main reason that I will be getting the full set of this. The blues and the grays, because I want to have the full set of grays. But I am excited to see what else Polly's has to offer in terms of blues, because these 3 that I'm about to use on the kimono just blew me away. Amazing. Super simple application. A lot of times the blues come out a little bit patchy with other brands. Not here. Super smooth. It's like I touch the page and the blue just appears. It was like magic. Amazing light touch, super cool blending, and of course the color blue itself is just gorgeous beyond compare. And the next 2 that go over it as well. I wish I had more blues from this brand. I would do an entire coloring in just blue because, oh my god, delicious. The one thing, okay, so my one complaint about the set was the writing on the pencils is very hard to read. My one disappointment, I guess, and it's not fair to criticize the set for this or to call it. I wouldn't give it any thumbs down for this, but I wish that this set offered more in terms of purple. Now, I understand how sets work. The full 120 set, 150, 360, whatever they come in, will have every color imaginable. It will have the full gradient of grays and browns, and it probably has some gorgeous purples in it. Here, the only thing remotely close to purple is this magenta. And that's not even really purple. It's magenta. There's nothing purple here at all. And I imagined this coloring with a lot of purple. Now, with the beautiful reds and these beautiful blues and the white, you can absolutely create all the necessary purple effects. So that's how they decide. That's how they decide on what to include in the smaller sets, if you can combine colors to create other colors. So with this small 24 pencil set, you can absolutely have a complete and fulfilling coloring life as a colorist, because you can create all these effects. But this whole time, I was wishing that I had purple. So one more reason to get the bigger set. This next pencil, I'm not sure if the title came up on the screen for this one. This is Helio Blue Reddish. Very weird name. Mainly because it's not reddish at all. It's an ultramarine blue. Like, that's what it is. It's an ultramarine blue. It's like lapis lazuli. But, you know, different brands always have really weird names for blue, like Prismacolor does with its dio something, oxide, God knows what. Here as well, the blues have really weird names, and I would just call this ultramarine. This is a classic lapis lazuli blue. This is literally my favorite color on earth, in case you haven't guessed. All right, let me try to keep up with the chat. Yumi and my dog traveling Australia. That's Sam. Sam. Even the 120 set lacks purples, in my opinion. Really? Now that's disappointing. I know Sam likes purple as much as I do. Okay. Here's a question for you guys: is the 120 set the biggest set that they offer, or is there anything larger? Because if they have larger, I'm totally buying their biggest set. This is worth it. For my okay, Huxley agrees with Sam. Not enough purples. I love the red violet poly. Okay, that sounds delicious. This is my last one, and this is light ultramarine. Okay, that naming I agree with. This is indeed light ultramarine. And again, I'm using this as a blender pencil. It's my lightest blue in the collection, and I'm using it to smooth out the two previous blue tones that were darker. And it's absolutely gorgeous. Like, if I had any doubts about this brand up to this point, this would absolutely be a selling point for me. Yes, these blues are worth it. 120 is the full set. Yes, 120 is max. What are you gonna do? I would prefer a larger set or multiple sets, the way that Black Widows offer multiple sets that you can combine. You have 24, 24, 24, 48, 12, and 12. What does that come out to? Tech support! We need math help. 24, 24, 24, 48, and 24. Please let us know what that comes out to. Because I'm sure you have a calculator nearby or in your head. 120, 495, 17. That does not come out to 17. 144. Okay, so 144 is the total number of Black Widow pencils available on the market. Oh, I missed a 24. Okay, so it's 20. It's 324s, 48, and another 24. So definitely 291. You're confusing me. It's a lot of Black Widows. There are a lot of Black Widows out there on the market. 156. Okay, so like around 150, more or less. Apparently, math is hard for all of us. And the big Prismacolor set is a 150 set as well. That's the one that I have. 148. Nobody can agree on this. But it seems that everyone agrees that it's between 140 and 160. 144. Okay, well, it's a lot more than 120. Maybe 120 and... Okay, so 120 isn't that far off from 150, but somehow to me it feels like it could be more. I don't know. Maybe once I get this 120 set, I'll feel differently. I'll feel like the colors actually cover the full range. Because honestly, in our 150 set that we have of Prismacolors, there are a lot of pencils that I don't use. So it's almost like it's just emotional comfort to have the full 150 set. Maybe we don't actually need them. Maybe polys have it all figured out. The only way to find out is for me to get the set and do another product review of it, just like this one. Okay, final blending with the white on this. Again, gorgeous. The white is starting to grow on me. Again, not as strong as Prismacolor white, but pretty freaking close. And really, really good blending. Look at that light glow that I got on her kimono. It's amazing. FSS. Is it FSS or FFS? Full set syndrome. FSS. Full set syndrome. FSS. Yes, that's right. I have the 500 set? What? What are you talking about? What? Oh, a Japanese set. Okay. Oh my God, there's so many more things I need to buy and review. So many more. Ah, okay. Prisma has the metallics in their set as well. Yes, Prisma has the metallics in their set, which I never use. I never use metallic pencils. If you guys have ever seen any of my videos on how to color metals, or if you have taken my Udemy course on how to color metals, you will hear me preach strongly against using actual metallic pencils and rather building up the metallic effects with natural colors. Not to say that I never use them. I just never use them for metals. I will use them for like a flat background if I, oh my God, smacking my mic. Um, like on this picture, for instance, I could have done the sun in a flat gold, but that's it. And then it would be kind of almost like an Art Nouveau style with a flat gold background and like realistic skin tones on the front. For that, I would use it as flat decoration, but not actually as a metallic effect. I don't like the metallics. Yeah, neither do I. They don't even come out looking metallics. I like the metallic pens though, metallic gel pens. All right, kids, boys, and girls, there are 36 of you still watching. That's amazing. Thank you so much. The coloring is over. The review is over. This is my take on polychromos on this Faber-Castell set of 24 pencils. This is the box. Thank you again so much to the colorist who sent it to me as a gift. I really appreciate it. I am definitely hooked on this brand. I will be buying more sets of this. If you guys also enjoyed the show, if you enjoyed this brand, if you already enjoyed this brand, check out my Amazon review of this box of pencils. It's in the link to my shop is in the video description. Just click on it and see all the stuff that I reviewed. Of course, Black Widows are there. White charcoal is there, the paper that I use is there, all the stuff that I use on the show and love is there. Check it out, and if you buy stuff following my link, I get like 2 cents on that sale after like a month. So every little bit helps. If you guys want to support this channel, consider becoming a patron, link in the description, and buy something fun in my shop. I have a shop now. I'm wearing something from my shop. This is actually the design that we colored today. It's in my shop. It's called Demon. You can get it on all sorts of fun stuff. I should get something for Tech to wear from my shop. Maybe the little cherry design that I just released. That would look really cute with his, with his Black Widow outfit. Is there anything else that I forgot or that you guys want me to cover in this last minute before I let you go? Thank you, Lisa. You're most welcome. Enjoyed the session. Thank you. Thank you. So awesome. Thank you for a great show. Yes, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Question for me. How did you find using them on toned paper? Struggled with that. I did not struggle with it on toned paper at all. I primed some of it. I primed the entire skin tone and the flower that's in her hair with white charcoal. So no struggles on the skin tone. But the flower that's behind her, the yellow flower, I did not prime that with white charcoal. That's the actual yellow pigment on gray toned paper, and I was very impressed with it. I had no issues. The blue on her kimono is directly over gray paper, and it came out just flawlessly. All right. Love the shop. Thank you. Great review. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm going to wrap this up. It looks like there are no more questions, just people praising me. So before I blush or swoon or anything like that, I'm going to say goodbye and farewell. And I'll see you guys next Saturday, not this Saturday, the one after, the 24th, for the great Black Widow stream with tech support. And Albert Jones, the creator of Black Widow pencils, will be doing 4 giveaways. 4 lucky winners will get to pick which Black Widow set they want Albert to send to them. Of course, there will be a live coloring, just like this one. Well, a fake live coloring, just like this one, because you seem to like this this format now. So, thank you. Like and subscribe. I love you guys. Keep coloring. Bye. This is where I figure out which button to press to end the show. I think it's this one.